battling early and then finding it late. Just talk about Caedmon and Braeden tonight.
Yeah, well, I told Caedmon in front of the team, I thought the biggest, obviously there's a lot of big innings in terms of on the mound, but I thought limiting them to one run in the second inning. They were a base hit away from, getting 2, 3, or 4, and he did a good job of making it only a 1, and then that's kind of been his MO so far, is kind of give some stuff up early and then settle down a little bit, and he pitched a little bit better as it went. But the man of the hour was obviously Braeden Sloan. Did an awesome job in terms of mixing his pitches, threw just enough fastballs. Changeup was awesome, the breaking ball, slider. So, kept them at bay and allowed us to play, scratch a couple runs across. I think we talked about it on Tuesday night in terms of those ball and the dirt reads and some of those things that don't look good when they go bad. But I thought tonight, obviously that was a key portion of the game. I think we got our first run was on a wild pitch, and then I think the second one was on a balk, and then the next one, was a first and third play that we did a really good job. Stole second, ball got into center field, so kind of got 3 runs, without the benefit of a hit, and then we got a couple hits later on to kind of distance it a little bit and get it to a 3-run lead.
Coach, when you're looking ahead to the games tomorrow and then Sunday, how big is it to only have to use 2 pitchers tonight?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've, for the most part, have done the first 3 Fridays. I think we used UD a little bit on that first Friday, if I remember right. Braden's been, like I said, he's been as big as anybody. He's the second starting pitcher on Friday nights. It's kind of like Caedmon and then piggyback with Braeden, allows you to then go to the guy that's kind of ate up the most innings, knock on wood, on Saturday. So it gives us a great opportunity to kind of set the bullpen the way we want it to, rest some guys, not have to use a ton of guys. They did the same thing though. So they went their starter and then their reliever. So both of us are stocked and ready to go for the next 2 days.
Talked on Tuesday about trying to get the offense going a little bit this weekend. Did you see better at bats tonight?
I did, yeah, I did. I thought some of our outs were a little bit better. I think we got 7 hits or something like that. But I thought the at bats overall were a lot better and more consistent. Again, another really good arm that we faced, and sometimes that's what it's going to look like on Friday night. It's not going to be a hit parade, and you're going to have to win games 5-2. And I think they only had 4 hits and we had 7. So, and we played clean defensively. But I did see a lot. I think Bowen obviously went down, reached out and got a slider for a base hit, and then lined out on another slider, first pitch to the third baseman. Obviously Brunson's big hit. I thought that was really big in the 8th inning to kind of get it to a 3-run lead as opposed to a 2-run lead going into the 9th. So, and then Caedmon, I think he hit 4 balls on the button. So, I think there's strides in there. Stroh had a couple knocks. Jackie Bell had a couple really good at bats. So even though we only have 7 hits, I thought the at bats were a lot more consistent, a lot more what we're looking for.
You mentioned Jack Bell. He's got a couple of starts last couple of games. How do you feel that what has he given you?
Well, he's like he might be the guy that heals the quickest that I've ever met. The guy pulls his hamstring supposedly on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday at practice he was completely fine, and then Thursday he was fine, and then tonight. So, I thought he did really well. And obviously facing a righty and just giving him an opportunity. I know he was a little disappointed coming out of the game on Tuesday, thinking that it was a little bit more serious than it was. But to get him right back out there on Friday and have some, he didn't get a ton of opportunities in the field, but I thought he took really good at bats. So good to see.
You've been platooning Chris Bone and Nolan Trade with righties, lefties on the mound, but tonight you didn't do that. It's part of the matchup. You like that?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, I think Nolan had gotten the last 2 starts. I think because we were facing righties, and we didn't want to have Bowen go a 3rd game without getting, him a start. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow with the matchup. I know it's a left-hander, but like I said, we feel great about both those guys back there, and I thought Carson against those righties obviously had 2 really good at bats, and we know Nolan's there as well, so we feel, like I said, we feel good about those 2, no matter if it's left versus left or right versus right or opposite. So we'll kind of mix and match. We don't want one of those guys to not play 3 games in a row, so got Carson out there for sure.
I know you've got Franco in that DH spot. Have you talked about DHing the guy that's not catching on any given night?
Not really, because part of there's going to be some opportunities where Noah comes in and pitches. and if he's in the lineup, it's a lot easier to do as a DH than it is with him playing the field. Now there might be a time where we do stick him in the outfield, or maybe at first base, but I think anything and everything's on the table. But ultimately, if we can pitch the way we've been pitching and play really good defense, I think it gives us an opportunity with Noah to be able to utilize him. I want to get him in on a weekend again. I thought he handled himself good on that Tuesday. I want to see what he can do, a little bit more on the mound as well.
Touched on it a little bit earlier, the defensive side of the ball. Teams have playing a lot better since the opening of the season. Is that just comfortability going into it?
Yeah, a little bit. I think sometimes, there was, some weird errors. I thought, Caedmon has had a couple, 2 or 3 on the first weekend. He hadn't played a ton of first base in his career. He did in fall and did in the spring leading up to the season, but it's a little bit different when you start playing in games. And so I thought he's, handled himself a lot better over there. And ultimately, I think it's about, getting a ton of reps, getting game reps, and being able to be, ready for it. And I think a lot of it comes down to the pitching staff filling up the strike zone and then being on their toes ready to go. It's a lot harder on defense when it's walks and its balls are kind of scattered around. But with the way Caedmon's been throwing and obviously Sloan today, and Tommy's been filling it up. So, I think the more that we, get games under our belt, I think the defense will continue to get better.
What's the pin on your hat?
This is McElroy, the McElroy family. Yeah, he unfortunately, I think last Thanksgiving passed away. So these, 3 birds are in remembrance of them. Him and his 2 kids passed away. So, they're a huge part of TCU's family. He played football here, and so just kind of a pin that, we kind of the community got together and made, and just in honor of him that we don't forget his legacy of what he's done here and his family. All right.
Braeden, last time we talked to you, you talked about that changeup and how much you love working with it. It was obviously dialed in tonight. Just talk about how much you love using that as your out pitch.
Yeah, it's awesome to use it as an out pitch. I feel confident throwing it for strikes as well, so if I ever get behind the count. And then I obviously, as you can see, don't have the most explosive fastball, so it kind of makes them start thinking about that, and then my fastball is a lot more effective. So it's definitely my biggest weapon, and luckily it gets the batters thinking a little bit.
You followed Caedmon in each of the last 3 Friday nights. How nice is it to be able to kind of expect that routine?
Oh, it's awesome. Just being able to build out my plan during the week, and then just knowing when I'm going to come to the game, being able to prepare. It's seemingly a good combo so far, so let's keep it going.
How much on Friday nights are you guys talking to each other after you go back to the dugout after the first inning about what he's seen from hitters that he's faced versus what you're seeing now?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to fill me with confidence. Obviously my first inning was a little bit shaky. Had 2 walks, couldn't find the zone, and he just came up to me and was like, "Hey man, believe in yourself. You're really, really good. We don't need you to be at your best. We just need you to throw strikes, and everything else is going to work out." So he's a really good job of when he's done for the day, he's filling up the next guy.
Talk about how big he was too in his outing today, getting out of that jam there in the second inning and kind of preserving that close game.
Yeah, he had a really, really good outing. Obviously, he was in tough situations. There was a leadoff triple, a leadoff double, and it's easy for your mind to kind of go to a dark space when those things happen. But he grinded through it, got out of the outing with 2 runs, and in those situations, that's really, really hard to do. So kudos to him.
2 of the veterans on a really young staff. How important is it for you guys to be able to, between the 2 of you, throw a complete game?
Yeah, it's nice just saving arms for the rest of the weekend. We have a lot of really good freshmen, and so we'll have a ton of them. Just being able to kind of watch what we do. Obviously, when I was a freshman, I was watching the older guys, and hopefully we're rubbing off on them a little bit. And just, we have a lot of depth, which is the key. So we have that for the next 2 games, which will help a lot.
Friday night opening win over a top 25 team. How good does that feel for you and the guys in the locker room?
Yeah, it feels good. I love we schedule hard schedules, and so for them to come in there and for us to do what we did just gives us a lot of confidence to go out, play hard Saturday, play hard Sunday, and just win a good ball game. So.
How important is that pitch in yours?
Yeah, I think that when I got to TCU, I didn't really have one. That's kind of been the biggest thing for me was developing it and then gaining the confidence to throw it kind of any count, right or lefty. So tonight, it was feeling good. I don't remember, their first baseman, I think, took a couple good ones. But I think it's just continuing to trust it, and get more comfortable throwing it in any count. So.
That tandem with you and Braeden Sloan, I asked him, but, what are you kind of telling him whenever he's coming back out there? Maybe, I think it was last week he came in middle way through the inning. So how much of a difference does it make for him to start a clean inning versus coming in at
Yeah, I mean, I think for any pitcher, it's easier to start a fresh inning. Coming into the game with nobody on base is a whole lot better than coming in, bases loaded, one out, or whatever it may be. But he's at his best when he's confident, feeling himself, doing his little strut around the mound. So I tell him, just be yourself, man. Like, be confident, and if things don't go your way, so be it. But at least like you're giving everything you have for this team. So I like encouraging him just to be himself and kind of show that spunkiness that he has sometimes.
You mentioned kind of struggling there in the beginning of the outing. Is there somebody in the dugout that's kind of talking you up and trying to build confidence for you for whenever you go back out and start?
I mean, honestly, I think that most of it kind of just comes from within. I think that I don't like getting into a groove of knowing like the first two are going to be a struggle, but I think I just kind of have like an unwavering kind of confidence and faith continuing through the game of like knowing, sure, the first inning or two might have given him a run or two, a couple hit by pitches, a couple walks, whatever it may be. Just knowing that he should continue to trust my stuff and kind of work through the ball game and let things kind of unfold how they should.
Defensively, it looks like this is the team has gotten a lot stronger since those first couple of games. How nice is it knowing that you have that to rely on as well?
Yeah, I think that when you have those guys behind you, you don't really worry, about balls getting hit. Now, I'm not somebody who's going to chase strikeouts. I'm kind of just trying to execute pitches, and if they get hit, having the faith that they'll catch them. And so I think that a lot of good defensive plays tonight were made, and that gives me confidence every time I'm handing the rock. So
Friday night, Tom Sutton, how much pride do you take in that?
I mean, obviously I understand kind of what's on the line being the Friday night starter, but to me it's just at the end of the day it's a game. I'm out there having fun, and it's executing pitches. And so I think that if somebody else is executing pitches better than me, then I want the team to win. And so luckily I've been doing an okay job doing that, and so trying to just continue growing in the role. Thank you all.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You had a big double there late to kind of get some insurance for you. Just talk about what you saw in that at bat.
Yeah, I got a fastball early, and I've been struggling to just be on time with the fastball recently. So I was just kind of telling myself to find the right pitch and drive a ball, and obviously I was able to do that. So that felt really nice just to stay with the approach I had and get something going for the team.
Moved out of the 2-hole tonight. What does that do for you, being able to just kind of move around the batting order without having to worry too much?
Yeah, obviously just, hitting 6 tonight, I think it just was able to get some confidence back in me. Obviously not hitting the best as I want to be right now, but just moving down a little, seeing, more fastballs and more pitches I can hit, just kind of build some confidence, and I think it helped a lot tonight, just being able to move down a little and get my confidence back in terms of swing and just really getting in a groove again.
Talk about another outfielder that maybe hasn't had the start he's wanted at the plate. Sawyer Snyder's got a couple singles tonight. Looks like he's starting to swing a little bit better. What kind of conversations have you two had as you're working through this stuff earlier?
Yeah, just to keep swinging. Honestly, you're going to go through some struggles in this game. Obviously, it's a tough game, and to just mentally continue to grow through the hard times. And I think he's done a great job of just continue to grow each and every day, working really hard to grow, and he's done a great job of just having a positive mindset towards things, and he's a hell of a player. So I'm excited for him to just keep building the days on like he did tonight, and he's a young guy who's going to really impact us for this team.
You and him and Sammy out there kind of patrolling the outfield, how much fun is it to play in the outfield?
It is. It's really fun. I think we're all pretty close, and we got a lot of talent out there. So just to have the outfield we have is something special, and I think we're going to have it this year and next year, so it's even better just to have some years with each other and to grow as a group.
Bill Mosiello back with the team this year. What have you learned from him the most that's impacted you so far this season?
Yeah, just he's done a great job just when you're going through struggles, just picking you up, and I think he's a great coach. He's worked with me with my swing in terms of I haven't really felt where I want to be, and he's done just a great job of building some confidence in me and working with him in the cages, and just he's just a great guy to have around and a great hitting coach. He knows a lot and he's really smart to learn from. So I think we're all just lucky to have him back.
Third series that you guys have had this season, how do you feel the team is progressing, and are you where you thought you would be at this point in the year?
Yeah, I think we're progressing well. Obviously, we didn't really play a fall game, so at first just kind of building the chemistry with each other. Obviously, we're a new group. We have a lot of new guys and a young group as well. So just kind of getting the young guys out there and getting comfortable and just getting comfortable with each other. But I think we've just done a great job of playing hard and going through ups and downs together well and handling adversity. And I'm excited for the rest of the year and just continue to play with these guys.
TCU got their first few runs off of pass ball in the block and then the first and third scenario. Is that kind of what frog ball means to you?
Yeah, I mean, just a gritty offense. I think that's what we got. We're not – if nights like this where we're not, hitting the ball, getting a lot of hits, just finding ways to get runs. And I think we did a great job just hitting the ball hard and moving guys over and executing the runs when, the pitchers are giving it to us. So I think it just kind of shows what the offense we got here. And we're obviously going to keep growing as a group and moving forward. So, yeah.
After the extended kind of road trip, neutral site stuff to open the season, how nice has it been to be at Lufkin?
Yeah, it's been great just to be home, and obviously playing here is special. The atmosphere in terms of just being comfortable, and obviously just swinging being in that box is a lot more comfortable than playing somewhere else. So I think we're all just excited to have a few home games here and be back at Lupton. So.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chase.